Alright, so got an empty garage spot and the trailer backed up to the garage on a pretty crazy slope, so this should be fun. Anyway, this is why I need to stay off of Marketplace, because I bought this turd. It's a 2004 Mini Cooper S in pretty bad shape. So, yeah, let's see if I can get this thing out of here. Alright, so got the Mini in the garage. Didn't take much of a video getting it out of the trailer. That was quite the process. But we got it in the garage, so now we can start working on it. Got this car for what I consider a pretty good deal. It does have a number of issues, but that's all part of the fun. And so this will be Allie and I's 5th R53 Mini Cooper S. So luckily we know these chassis very well. They're getting to an age where a lot are experiencing cylinder head cracks, automatic transmissions that are failing, and then obviously also lots of accidents and stuff like that. So luckily they're pretty easy to find in the junkyard, and that's a good thing for us because we're going to need quite a few parts for this car. As you can see, it has a Home Depot special radiator support that's not even tight. This is just flat bar with some holes drilled in it. I don't know. So you should have a plastic piece that goes from here all the way across. The fans mount to that. The radiator mounts in there. So definitely gonna pick one of those up.
We'll put a picture right here of what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, on our last R53 we did a radiator swap, so we probably have some pictures of what it should look like. Presently, I was told it has an issue with the shift linkage. Looking at it in the trailer, I actually think it may be the slave cylinder, which luckily enough, if we peek down here, the slave cylinder is just right there. So we're going to try bleeding it. If that doesn't work, we'll replace it. Previous owner also did some Home Depot special shifter cable brackets. I guess if it works, it works, but probably just going to replace the shifter cables. Those are known to get a little bit brittle and wear over time.
What is this?
Allie is showing off the steering shaft currently out of the car. So obviously steering this thing in and out of the trailer was a lot of fun.
It has no steering. It just goes straight.
It doesn't actually go straight. It kind of veers one way or another.
Oh, this got me when you pulled this out of the...
It has the flexible Craven Speed dipstick that
it's like stuck.
That Allie was a big fan of, and now she's flinging oil all over the place.
It freaked me out.
But it does have some good parts to it. So it's got a Way Motor Works, which is a big mini tuning shop, 15% reduction pulley on the supercharger, the Craven Speed dipstick, Mishimoto silicone radiator hoses, some AutoZone special cold air intake. I've got the Spectra filter over there on the floor. The Craven Speed, we think, strut tower defenders. Don't have the strut bar for it, unfortunately.
We could probably buy that piece.
Aluminum coolant overflow tank. Those always split at the seam, so that's cool. It's got that. But yeah, so it's got some good parts underneath it that you can't see. It's got lowering springs, some beefy sway bars, adjustable control arms or lateral links or some sort of suspension component in the rear.
You can see the springs. They're so small.
You got the springs tucked up in there.
They're hard to see.
A little dark. But yeah, so that's that. The car came loaded up with all kinds of spare parts. Unfortunately, I was a little bit too excited to see what it came with, so I already unloaded it. You've got the bumper cover that's in pretty rough shape, so definitely going to try and find an original one of that. The original control arms, lateral links, whatever the hell you call them. One of two crash beams for the bumper, AutoZone special intake, a spare rear trailing arm, maybe. Don't roast me. I don't know what all this shit is. And then a spare axle, so that's cool. Also back here, we've got an extra clutch kit, an extra trans, and a extra transmission mount, so that's great. But yeah, overall car is actually pretty clean for its age. This, what's called the Beltline kit, it's in pretty rough shape. This top roof molding, also not ideal, especially on the driver's side. Coincidentally, just like the STI, I feel like this sat for quite some time on the driver's side, so you're starting to get a little clear coat fade. At one time, these were paint matched fender flares and side skirts. So you can see on this side they're rather orange. But if you come over to the side that wasn't sitting in the sun, I mean, they're a little less orange. It's actually not that much better. So those will definitely get replaced. Interior wise, it's got seats that I don't believe to be original. The brown ones. Rear seat's in great shape. Obviously really dusty back here. Rear seat's in good shape. It has blue carpet. I feel like the last 2 or 3 minis we had blue carpet, so that's cool.
Does it have blue carpet?
No, it has black.
Oh, you said blue carpet.
It has black carpet, excuse me. Last 2 or 3 had blue. Someone in its ownership time decided to paint all of these door panel and interior pieces red. They did actually a pretty good job. Normally, like, all of this here is silver. The whole dash would have been silver, including those down bars. Here, the cup holders. The cluster surrounds would have probably been chrome. It is missing the nav screen, unfortunately. One of the biggest problems with Mini Coopers is the headliner. Somebody has redone the headliner, and then they went ahead and painted all of the trim red as well. I actually kind of like it, but I'm a racer, so there's that. It's got a crazy shifter. I'm not real sure what shifter this is, but it's super heavy. It had a system at one time, like we've got a USB hookup there. I've
speakers in the vents.
got like crazy radio harnesses here, Pioneer unit, tweeters. You know, who needs heat? Let's hear that bump. Got the tweeters. But yeah, overall, it's super dusty. It's been sitting in...
Is this going to be the dust guy?
It's been sitting in southern Colorado since 2017. And then before that, it was in Pueblo, I guess. So also southern Colorado. So who knows how long it's just been sitting out, getting dust. Deja vu to that one up there. There's Allie. Hi, Allie. And so obviously, if you've seen the process we took on this car, replacing all the moldings, vinyl wrapping it, expect something very similar from this. Obviously, near-term focus is mechanicals. Luckily, that thing, for what it was, ran pretty well. Obviously, we went ahead and threw a built engine and a big turbo and all that jazz. I've actually got the stock set up behind me here, but yeah, obviously, luckily, like I said, these are in the junkyard a lot, so we can find parts. Someone had the bright idea of riveting, not riveting, it's not a frog, riveting the fender flares onto the hood, onto the fender, a little bit on the side skirt. So
Look at those headlights.
yeah, headlights. Somebody at one point pulled them apart, baked them, painted the inside. They actually look better on film than they do in person. and they look like crap in film, so just imagine how bad that is. Someone decided it would be great to paint the hood scoop white.
I mean, the hood scoop will be white for what I plan to do to it, but
yeah,
not like that.
Long list of parts we're looking to pick up. Definitely going to look to get the upper and lower moldings, plastic radiator support, hood scoop, new headlight rings or new headlights all together, all new fender flares and side skirts, the missing e-brake boot. I don't think I showed you, but the hatch doesn't have hardly anything. It's pretty stripped. So the little plastic kick panel or whatever here is gone. The mat that goes over there is gone. The C-pillars are gone. The plastic that goes here is gone.
Oh, it did have this.
It does have half of it. So yeah, just gonna look to head to the junkyard soon. Start picking up some of those missing pieces and go from there. So if you enjoyed the STI content, this will be very similar, and definitely expect a very different engine swap for this one coming soon. Alright, so for this project, obviously there is no shortage of work to be done. Obviously think the intention will be to work on the mechanicals prior to doing any cosmetic type modifications. Obviously it needs a few things just to get it right. So typically your airbox will sit here, and within the airbox is a cover slot thing for the ECU, DME, whatever you want to call it. Currently, it's just kind of floating around in free space. So definitely we'll pick one of those up. We will go ahead and bleed the slave cylinder. If at that point it does not behave, pretty much plan on pulling the engine and trans. Yes, I could just drop the trans, but given... Yeah, like
Is that supposed to be like that? Because there's an engine ground right here, but...
No, so the engine harness should not route behind the trans mount. That's not ideal. It's supposed to run right here.
Oh, yeah.
Ask me how I know. But yeah, we'll start with mechanicals. If we end up pulling the engine, obviously we'll do a lot of seals, gaskets, rear main seal, maybe a front main seal. There's a water neck over here that loves to leak. Water pump is actually driven off of the supercharger, so maybe do a water pump. But like I said, don't plan to keep the 1.6 supercharged engine in here for terribly long. Kind of back and forth on how long it'll stay in here. Let us know in the comments how many of you want to see this thing with a Honda K24 in it. Yeah, leaking the beans in the first video, but that's ultimately the plan. Run a K24 in this bad boy. So yeah, we'll try our best on this. I think it's actually technically a Chrysler engine that's in here. It's a 1.6 steel block, aluminum head, single overhead cam. Cylinder heads are known to crack. It's not even coil on plug. It's pretty outdated technology. So we'll see how far we decide to take it with this. Here in Colorado, we do have a lot of fun winter events, but we also have the E36 M3, the E30 325 IS that's outside. We've got the built STI that's going to see a lot more turns than straights this summer.
No more straights, only turns.
So, yeah, we'll start on the mechanicals before we dive into the cosmetics. And cross your fingers that a slave cylinder bleed will get the car shifting as it should.
I think we're going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching, as Mike bought a Mini and I didn't really even know. I was at work. And then I was sick, so he's pretty much just been working on this project himself. So, anyway, I'm super excited about this project. As Mike has stated, this is our 5th Mini Cooper. Just quite excited, big plans for it. As Mike has shown, we are working on the cooling system, but we're waiting on parts. So we're going to wrap up this video, but I think we're going to continue working on it. I'm not sure what this bracket is. I think it's a jack point that maybe the previous owner used. The master cylinder's right here. Slave, excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and take that out next. So just stay tuned. Our goal for the next video is to have it running and driving. And then after that, I'm not really sure what exactly we're going to be doing, as there is quite a few things on our to-do list. My big thing is cosmetics. As most of you guys know, I'm big on restoring the exterior of cars. So I did have Mike get all of the trim at the junkyard. And I've already started planning a livery for this car. So yes, we have spilled a lot of beans in the first video, but quite excited to be racing with my husband next season, not only in one car, but 2. So anyway, thank you for watching. Do you have anything to add? Anyway, have fun, have a good night, and go buy race cars. That's all I'm going to say.